Here's 10 reasons why traders fail. Hi, it's Charlie giving you today's video. So nice and simple, just this side of Christmas. Let's have a run through and by all means add some more because this is not by any means a short list, but I've gone for 10. So number one on this list of 10 is overtrading. So again, a biggie here for many traders, just over trading. So whether they're intraday trading or swing trading, getting overexcited by the markets and trading too much, too high a frequency, and then going down a rabbit hole with trading too much, and then basically getting caught up with lots of losing trades, based on trading noise. Right, number two, over leveraging. So another very common one, where traders will over leverage on their trades. They risk way too much, and so then when those trades go against them, they risk their almost the entirety of their account almost on a single trade or on a few trades, and that's another biggie. Right, number three, a lack of patience. So patience comes in many forms in trading. It might be waiting for the right trade to come along, the next setup to come along, and then you get bored and then you jump into the market based on something else that's going on. So that's a classic. So a lack of patience. Sometimes it can be a lack of patience to sit on your trade, waiting, and jumping out before it hits your targets. That also comes under a lack of patience. There are many other facets of patience, but I've just picked two out here. Strategy jumping or strategy hopping. So that's another common one, isn't it? So strategy hopping, if I can type this around. So again, it almost comes under a lack of patience. But it comes under many other things, fear as well. But jumping around, you've got a strategy or a method. You go for a bit of a drawdown period, and then you want to ditch it, and then move on to something else. Now, that may be correct. It may be the correct thing, but you need to make sure that am I jumping around from strategy to strategy for the right reasons? Is it outside of its historical performance, normal performance levels, or is something else going on? So there's nothing wrong with ditching a strategy, providing you're ditching it for the right reasons. A fear. Now, fear of loss. So fear of loss is another reason why traders will fail, because if you fear loss, it means that you do things like hesitate, not take trades because you might have just had a couple of losses and then you don't want to take the next trade and you miss out on the winners, all of that sort of stuff. When you're in profitable trades, you might bank them through fear of it rolling over and becoming a loss. So there are many reasons why fear of loss come into this. The desire to be right. So we'll put in here the desire to be right. A really common one whereby traders, in order to be right, they will do things like bank profits really soon. So they can say, well, there's, you can't go broke banking a profit. They'll say that sort of thing. But also, just from an ego perspective, they want to be right as much as possible, and unfortunately, that can cost them, because if they're banking their profits way too soon, then the profits don't pay for the losing trade. So the desire to be right is a big one. Then I've got emotions, generally speaking. So emotions such as anger, frustration. Oops, there we go. Emotions, anger, frustration. So, getting angry at the markets because of what the markets are doing. Well, it's nothing to do with the markets. If you're getting angry, then you're the one losing control, or getting frustrated. So there's no point getting frustrated. If things aren't going your way, just take a step back and work on your mindset, of course. So getting too emotional, though, then that leads to the dark side, because you get angry or frustrated. What are you more likely to do? Quit. But also, it might lead to what? Over trading, revenge trading, all of those sorts of things. Talking of which, oh yeah, and within that, we've got things like excitement as well. People who get excited about winning trades. That's a danger, because if you get too excited about the markets as well, that can lead you down the wrong path. Because then you're more likely to get overconfident, and then you'll go and do what things like over leverage, over trading as well. Strategy, sorry, not strategy, I think I've already covered that. The need for certainty. So again, this desire for people to want their trading to be like a job where it pays a regular salary, so to speak. So this need for certainty, the need to know that for every 10 trades they're going to take, that they're going to be right, almost guaranteed, 8 out of 10 trades, that desire for certainty. There is no certainty in the market, so you sort of need to embrace the uncertainty of the markets. But the problem is, this desire for certainty can again take a trader down the wrong path, and it can lead to frustrations and emotions when they don't get that certainty. So again, another really important one. I've put down here stops. So many traders don't use stops. So they don't use stops in the market. Another massive one as to why so many traders around the world lose, because of all the other reasons, the emotions which lead to the other bad habits. But not using technical stop losses is probably the number one cause of traders quitting as a result of blowing up accounts. So not using stops. I didn't mention earlier on, but within the subject of stops, again, a lot of traders, they move their stops, who do use stops, they move their stops too soon, and they choke trades, and then that can lead to frustrations because they get stopped out only for trades to then carry on to where their targets would have been, but they're trying to make themselves feel good by moving stops, and that all comes under that desire to be right, I guess, as well. And lastly, this is all about 10 reasons why traders quit or fail, but probably the one that encompasses all of this is tenacity. That you need tenacity. You need to have that desire to keep going, even when the market frustrates you, or you do find yourself getting emotional at times, or whatever. You need to have that tenacity to just not quit. The reason that that people around the world quit trading in the end is because of, ultimately, a lack of tenacity. They give it a go for a period of time, then say, oh no, it's not for me, right, and that's it, and they're off. And yet it's those traders who don't quit, who just keep going, keep plodding away. The amount of traders I've met who didn't become profitable until year 4, year 5, year 6 and onwards within their trading, it's quite amazing. So tenacity is probably, encompasses the lot there. So there you go. That's my 10 reasons why traders fail and quit the markets. Hope you have a lovely weekend. Happy Christmas. I'll see you next week.